Hi, in this video I will show you how to easily create this area effect, which is for example useful for claim button or target area where player needs to go. It's a simple material and will work on any device. Before starting tutorial, I would like to mention that if you're interested in source files from my videos, you can find them on my Patreon, link in the description of the video. Feel free as well to support us following Gelos Games on Fortnight.com and subscribe to our Gelos Game channel on YouTube, where we play games and showcasing our maps and features. And now let's begin. Okay, first we need to create cylinder, but instead of using this shape and this cylinder, because we don't have much access into this mesh, I will create our own custom one. So here just in create and cylinder. Let's place it like that. So having pivot point in the center and on the bottom, yeah, it's fine. It's even easier than drop it into level. And it all depends how wide you want this be. So for something like, as you can see, for just one person standing there, maybe that would be enough. For something bigger, then you need wider. Why you need to care about this? Because look, we have sides, right? Like I can enable wireframe so you can see these sides. So larger the radius, less sides you have, more is like a jagged edges pops up. So you can smooth it by adding radial slices more like that, as you can see. Don't go crazy with that because we applying material on it, semi-transparent, let's say. Won't be super visible, but still make it like close, maybe 24. We'll make 32. I usually adding sides, the slices, for example, like 4, 8, 12, 16, yeah, 24, 32 in that way instead of like random. Okay, it's that. Then polygroup per quad, don't care about that. And I don't see option remove these caps. It's totally fine. So let's save it. Claim area, this one. So I will accept it. And it's there. Now I need to go into mesh, triangle edit. I will deselect these points and edges and I will keep just only polygons. Let's look from the top and just left mouse click and drag like that. Now let's look around. So then we don't have sides selected, only should be bottom and top. When that's selected, where is our delete? There's delete faces, just like that. So basically for our effect, we need only walls and that's enough. Okay. So this is the cylinder. I will rename it. I like always use prefix, which tells basically what it is. So SM stands for static mesh. Well, it should be maybe hollow cylinder, something like that. And usually if you have something already in the level and you're renaming or moving into different folders, you may see that, you see, sometimes it's updating properly, sometimes it's not. Sometimes UEFN may struggle. So it's a good practice then select, like right click on that folder and then do update redirectors. You see nothing happened, it's fine. Sometimes you will get window saying like, blah, 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 I'm doing something like, do you want delete all redirectors? You just click yes, delete it, and then it basically fix this for you. Then, because otherwise you may then close your project, open your project, and you will have missing references error. This is because of that. Okay, so we have this. Cool. We can start now with material. And I will create material instance. Yeah, material instance, good for that. And actually, I will create 2 copies. I will explain in a second why. Usually we reusing same, yeah, we just like reapplying different material. What I want to show you, like how you can use this, is to use it with a switch device. So then you can use per player. Where are you, logic? Yeah, here we go. So we have our switch. And let's see. So we have enable at game start, fine. Initially disabled. This is up to you as you like. I will keep it disabled. Visible during game. We don't need any sounds. We don't need interactions. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, now we're here in the custom. And as you can see, we can't input same mesh, but just with a different material. It should be just static mesh directly from content drawers. That's why we need to duplicate our mesh. So for example, this one will be our on effect. And second one will be off. So we don't need that one. So now just final thing here, store state per player. So then it means each player will see it differently. How you can use this? So for example, if let's say you want to send player somewhere and you want to highlight the area where player needs to go, but it's only for one player, not for all players. For example, maybe player picked up something and now you need to carry to some location. This is how you do it. Then you basically, with a switch, you enabling just per player. He sees that area and it goes there. Other players won't see it. And okay. And you can use persistence if you want. I'm not using in this case. In this case, we don't need it. So, okay. So we just need to create material, then apply to this and it will work. Okay, let's open material. So this will be additive and on lid. Then I will enable two sides. So then you see what it means. It's basically in the polygons, you have front and back. By default, back, it's never rendered, as you can see in here. So then we can only see that. But in material, you can specify both. It means you will see it from both sides. It's more expensive, not super, super expensive, but it basically adds to the cost. So keep in mind, when you don't need this effect, never use it. Okay, so now let's start. So let's start with a texture and we will use, not this one, and here, I will use noise, this cloud noise. Then we need panner, move it. Let's grab texture coordinates. Now multiply, control our tiling. This goes into coordinates. Now we need append vector. We want control tiling separately in X and Y. Let's set it by default 1, 1. So there is no changes, it means. Then again, we need append because we want X and Y speed separately controlled. By default, let's keep it just on 0, 0. Now to control a bit contrast of that, because basically it's a black and white mask, like noise. So I will use a smooth step. It will be noise contrast minimum and maximum. Again, I will set to default 0 and 1. Then in material instance, I will set whatever will work. Okay. And finally, let's add opacity, like a global opacity. I will add a little bit extra here, but I won't just show you already what we get with this. Now, finally, we need color. Okay, let's set maybe like orange as usual. This kind of areas, but doesn't need to be. like that. Okay. Now let's open our material instance. And same time, let's open this one and add this material instance in here. And we need into this one, we need create second one material instance, and this will be off. Now let's add it here. And if we open this with off, super simple. So opacity, because at the end, we're multiplying with this. If we will multiply by 0, it will become 0. So we can set in this transparent. So mesh it still will be there. But as you can see, it's now gone. Now in the switch, if I'm switching, see? So easy as that. And then in the verse or in the devices, you can toggle when you want stat to be on and off. Okay, so let's leave it on enabled so far. And let's try play with parameters. Okay, so yeah, let's keep minimum for now on a 0. Let's lower like that. Then scale. What cool is that when you're reaching 0 in UVs, let's say like that, see, or really close to that, it looks more like a foggy, like lines. And this is actually like you can see a lot in these claim areas. This is exactly how it looks. That's why we wanted it separate. So then we can have something like this. And then on the Y, you can make like that. Up to you. So maybe, let's see, maybe on 2 for now. Now let's play with some movement. Keep in mind, smaller the scale in here in UVs, faster it will basically spin like pan. So then you need like really tiny numbers. While if that number would be like really big, the 0.08 wouldn't even move much. So when, for example, if you will question sometimes like why, like I see these numbers work with one thing and then not with another, this is why. So that's why like you always need to experiment. And maybe a little bit. If you want some movement, vertical movement. So basically it will go a little bit diagonally. Then we can play with opacity. Something like that. Starts looking not bad, but biggest problem what we can see, and this is one of the problems as well. Just to mention, you may think like my texture is tileable. Why I have the seam is based how you scale your basic like UVs. So to remove any seams, it should be round numbers. So for example, 2, 3, 1, right? And because in a scale X, we have 0.1, this is why. If I will put it on 0, as you can see, it's gone. If I will put on 1, it's gone. If I will put the 0.9, I have my seam. Again, this is one of these things you need to pay attention. Sometimes the seam is not super visible, so it's fine. Okay, so now it definitely goes too fast down. Don't want that. Maybe like that. Okay, so first thing what we can see is that we have really sharp edges, right? And bottom and top and on the side. And this doesn't look nice. So we need to soften that and we need to cut top. So it's not like so sharp. Okay, let's do this now. So let's jump into material. And to soften these edges, And keep in mind, this is really nice working on the sphere and cylinder, but won't work like really good on the cubes, like basically on the flat surfaces, only on the rounded shapes. So for that, it's really good idea to use Fresnel, because basically what it does, as you can see here, it creates this aura, yeah, around. And you can, with these parameters, you can control how sharp it is and how wide. And that's why like it's for on the round shapes. On the cube, for example, if I will show on the cube, as you can see, it's not working at all. It's like create this kind of gradient, but like too sharp still. But on a cylinder, it's nice as well. As you can see, it's not working on the top and the bottom, just on the sides. Okay. So this will be our exponent. Again, I will put default numbers. Fresnel fraction. Okay. Just to keep numbers between 0 and 1 in this one, because it can go crazy, I will use saturate, and then I will invert it. Why I want invert it? Because as you saw on the sphere, white was on the edges. So again, I will multiply this with my opacity, and where is white, it will be visible, whereas black, it's not. And it's actually, we don't want edges to be visible, we want center to be visible. That's why we're inverting. So then edges will be more darker and more smooth. Okay, that. Now what I want is mask for top and bottom. So it mainly will be for the top. And I will just multiply with a smooth step. That. And now here it will be, for the value will be our vertical mask for like basically on UVs. And we need component mask. And it will be in a green channel, so it's Y. So if I will preview, let's go this. So as you can see, it starts on the top like black, and then we have white, and we can offset that mask. Come on. Always misclicking. Okay, so this can go in there. That's fine. And now we need height mask minimum and height mask maximum. And again, with default numbers. I already mentioned in my many videos, basically smooth step, it can work as offset, but same time closer minimum and maximum is to each other. Let's say maximum it's 1 and minimum it's 0.99. Sharper, it will be like transition between them. And further they apart, more smooth. So we can control basically both things. Okay, so we have that. And now we need to move this a little bit and multiply with our that mask like that. And then at the end, we won't keep this opacity because again, we can then disable fully opacity when we don't want it. And this is pretty much whole material. So now we just need in material instance, play with it. Then it looks good. As you can see, it's already started affecting. Off I want to disable, meshes I don't need as well. Okay, now we need this. Okay, let's start maybe with a height. So as you can see, playing like that, have different effect. So for this one, let's maybe keep 0 and this maybe 0.2 like that. And just like that, you see that on the top, we have really smooth transition instead of sharp as it was. And edges already got like a little bit blurry, which is cool instead of sharp because our Fresnel already working. So let's maybe put this 0.2 and this one 0.2 as well. Now increase opacity. Yep. Getting there. So now glow intensity. You can play as you want. Keep in mind, on the different platforms, this intensity will work differently, especially with different post-processing. So if I'm setting it, let's say like to 25, just barely see it. Maybe even on 5, it will be super visible for you. So play with these parameters. Okay, so this we will keep. Then noise contrast, this one maybe, and this. Yep, something like that. Yeah, one is fine. Now we can increase here, so we have more lines. And as I mentioned, as you can see, it looks better with non-zero in X. If I'll put 0, it's like really just simple lines. Maybe that's totally fine for you. Then it's totally fine by me as well. But again, you can play with this. You can find something, maybe as you can see, this seam, it's not super visible. Or maybe you will place it that way that player won't see that seam. And again, we can enable, disable it like that. So yeah, that's it. So again, play more with these parameters. You can achieve really nice results with this. And again, it's super cheap. So it should work on basically any device because there is nothing complex in this material. And yeah, it looks really good. Okay, hopefully this will be useful for you. Like, have fun with that. And again, as a reminder, like if you're interested in all my source files from my videos, you can find them on Patreon and link in the description in the video. And you can follow us, Gallows Games, on Fortnite.com. Have fun. I would like to say thank you to my all supporters. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your generosity. You can get project files on my Patreon or just buy me a coffee to support me. If you're interested in learning more about UEFN materials, coding, widget UI, and more, you can join our growing Discord community where we like to discuss UEFN tips and tricks, showcase our work, and help each other. You can find link in the description or in the channel header.